joined with Wim Stocks, who is the Senior Vice President of Partnerships and Commercial for Vindex and Belong Gaming. How are you, sir? And happy holidays to you.
Chad, nice to be here. Thank you for having me, and a complete honor to be on your podcast and your show. Happy holidays to you. I'm looking out the window at a raging snowstorm as we speak. So
where are you located right now?
Right now I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
Watching the snow go sideways, and not a better way to celebrate the Christmas season.
Any sights of Santa?
Nothing yet, but it's still a little early. You know, he's not up in the air yet, as far as I know. So
yeah,
a little bit more time needed there.
All good. So obviously we want to have you on. We are a platform that focuses on cannabis, psychedelic, sports betting, and obviously this industry that needs no introduction, the esports industry, how it's just exploded. It's been going on this for a long time, even more so, I think, when COVID has begun. But a big announcement for you last week. You're known as the godfather of video gaming. You made a company change after 11 years of leadership with World Gaming, the Collegiate StarLeague, with last week's announcement to join Vindex and Belong Gaming. So why the move, and why does this make sense to make this move now for you?
I had as much fun as anybody could have, and as I said in my goodbye post on LinkedIn, as any 100 people could have in 100 years of lifetime. We did a lot of great work in the formative era of esports. I would say esports is still in its that's the great thing about esports. It's still in its formative realm 11 years later, but it was the right time for me to go. We were acquired mid-year by a private equity company who rolled us up into a traditional sports footprint that was also an investment of theirs. To create a new entity called PlayFly Sports, a combination of a traditional sports agency, multimedia rights company, and we came in as World Gaming and CSL as the esports bolt-on. So, and as the pandemic has revealed and exposed now, those associations and those affiliations are really important. The notion of traditional sports as it was in the dark days of no programming, no broadcasts, no events, no nothing. Esports filled in and to take its place. We were referred to as replacement programming. And when you weren't seeing a baseball game in May on ESPN in the afternoon, you were seeing a Rocket League championship, or you were seeing a driving Forza racing sim championship. So what the pandemic has done, that probably would have taken another 6 to 8 years to fully develop. The pandemic pushed into the limelight right away, and as a result, esports has risen to prominence and continues to get a big engagement in our time. It's not just esports. Esports remains a sliver of overall gaming, but gaming has become the family room. Became as everything else has gone away. Live events have gone away. Sporting events have gone away. Gaming has become the center of the family and the family room, so to speak. So it's been our time in this space was great. We did a lot of really good things, but it was also, as we were being acquired, it was a great time for me to hand the reins over to someone else and let them take it to the next level. So all great, all very rewarding, a very sort of a poignant time for me to do it all, but it couldn't have happened at a better time.
What would you say was the most thing that you're proud of during that era of your career?
Well, we did a lot of good work raising the importance of amateur esports. The esports got off the ground and really started to accelerate when people saw the professional realm really taking shape. And why that was important is that it all of a sudden people saw something that looked familiar. There was a lot of misunderstanding around esports. Nobody knew what the structures were, didn't understand the competitive aspects, didn't understand teams. But once the leagues started getting formed, the big pro leagues like Overwatch League, that was probably the first big breakthrough moment for esports, that people saw something that looked very familiar. It was a league structure that had teams in cities as franchises. They played in a league structure. They had drafts. They had combines and drafts. They had preseasons. They had regular seasons. They had postseasons. They had championships. That looks an awful lot like the NFL or the NBA or Premier League for that matter. And as that pro side clarified so much, it also clarified what was missing in esports, and that was the same sort of galvanization and organization around amateur esports. And what we did as World Gaming and CSL and World Gaming, we did it really in more the amateur space, the more general amateur space. We helped form funnels and ladders and really the channels for aspiring players to get better. Come play in our events, consume our content, see what it's like to be a player in a competitive event. Prove yourself, show your stuff, and the events that we did were exactly that. We made them more accessible, friendlier. If you look at some of these big pro events, it's very clear how good these players are, but they also can be very intimidating. So what we did is we bent over backwards to make sure ours were friendly events, and the publishers of the games loved what we did because we are keeping that funnel open nice and wide. We're making it more accessible. We're bringing more players into taking part in an amateur scene that is so important for the vibrancy of not only the pro level but for the game itself. This adage that people use that in traditional sports, there's a pyramid of players. It's the top 1% are the pros, and it's the 99% are the aspiring pros. Esports is the same, and that dynamic is the same. And our target was that 99% to make sure they had all the right means and the right steps to make it to the pros if that's what they so desired. That was on the amateur side, but equally important, our common thematic here was the college side and college sports. The structure of college sports and the importance of college sports is really unique in North America, and I'll say even more so, it's unique to the United States. When you see the NCAA and how big competitive college sports is, university sports through the NCAA and all these other associations, we aspired to do this, and we did the same thing through CSL, where we brought league structures, we brought conference structures, we elevated the notion of esports as a collegiate in a collegiate realm, and what was great about that is the collegiate realm in the competitive realm was just kind of the tip of the iceberg. Now collegiate esports is all about education, curriculum, accessibility. We did a lot of work bringing women into our collegiate leagues. We this past year launched a big initiative around the HBCUs, the historically Black colleges and universities that typically have been underserved in technology and STEM and gaming, and as a result, we really leaned in on with some good partners, two gentlemen, Rod Chappell and Dr. Mark Williams, who helped us and guided us, created an alliance so CSL could bring relevant competitions as well as relevant initiatives around curriculum, master classes, internships, helping students to get involved in not just the competitive side of esports, but also the business side of esports, where there is far more opportunity than there is on just in the participation side. So I'm really proud of what we did in that regard, and taking that into my new realm. This is exactly what Vindex and Belong Gaming is all about: to build infrastructure, continue to build infrastructure for esports and gaming, and really now capitalizing on the notion of the regionalization of esports. Esports got built in the macro. It's a global dynamic. That's a real positive thing. Yep. But what hasn't been activated yet are the great regional roots. Think about a team like a New York Yankees, just how important they are to New York culture, and actually they've transcended just New York. But you think about how important they are to the fans in that city, and that is still missing from esports. We're getting there. The launch of the Overwatch League, the Call of Duty League, the NBA 2K League that now has franchises